You're not going to believe what just went down on Dancing with the Stars, because Robert Irwin has shocked everyone, the judges, the audience, and even himself, with a semi-finals performance that had the ballroom roaring. And trust me, the boy didn't just dance. He exploded off that stage. From the moment the lights hit and Prince's Baby I'm a Star kicked in, you could practically feel the electricity running through the room. This wasn't the sweet, wildlife-loving Aussie kid people remembered. No, this was a full-blown performer who stepped out ready to prove something. And the second Robert and Whitney launched into that high-energy jive, it became clear that this wasn't going to be just another dance routine. This was a redemption arc, a transformation, and honestly, a moment that felt like the beginning of a DWTS legend. What made this performance even more jaw-dropping is how far Robert has come since week 1. Back then, his jive was charming but definitely showed room for growth. This time, it was a completely different story. The improvement was insane. Sharper lines, faster footwork, cleaner spins, and flips that made the judges lean forward like they were watching an action movie instead of a dance show. Whitney's choreography pushed him hard, but he didn't just keep up. He dominated it. You could tell he'd spent weeks training like his life depended on it, all while bringing that signature Irwin positivity. And the crowd could feel it too. Every kick, every flick, every turn was met with louder cheers. And by the halfway mark, people were already whispering that this felt like a finale performance. Then came the judges' reactions. And honestly, this is where you could see just how massive this moment was. Bruno, who never holds back, was practically glowing when he told Robert that only a superstar jive would do for Prince. And Robert delivered exactly that. Carrie-Anne jumped in, stunned by how clean and sharp the whole routine was, calling it finale-worthy without hesitation. And Derek, who always focuses on technique, praised Robert for dancing with his whole body and charisma, instead of just hitting steps like many celebs do. All 3 judges so unanimously impressed at this level. And when those perfect 10 paddles went up, it confirmed what everyone in the room already felt. Robert hadn't just earned a score, he earned a moment. And here's the thing. This perfect score didn't just happen out of nowhere. Robert walked into the semi-finals with a quiet determination that almost seemed different from earlier weeks. One detail that stood out was his decision not to bring his sister Bindi or his mom Terry into this particular performance. It felt like he wanted to prove something on his own, to show the world that while the Irwins are a tight family, this part of his journey belonged to him alone. We heard the words confirming he'd made it into the grand final. You can see the shock on his face. It was genuine, humble, and honestly kind of emotional. For someone who always lives in the spotlight through his family's legacy, this moment was about his personal identity breaking through. But what really drove the moment home was what Robert said afterward. You could hear the gratitude in his voice when he said, "I'm over the moon. This means the world." It wasn't a victory speech. It wasn't bragging. It was someone truly overwhelmed that his hard work had paid off. He talked about how this experience was changing his life and how grateful he felt to even be standing there with a 30-30. And honestly, you could tell he meant every word. This wasn't a celebrity trying to be relatable. This was Robert, the same kind-hearted kid who grew up in front of the world at Australia Zoo, now discovering a part of himself he never expected to shine so brightly. And seeing that kind of sincerity in a competition show is rare, so viewers connected with it instantly. The emotional impact didn't stop on the stage. Fans watching from home absolutely lost it online. Social media lit up with people celebrating Robert's growth and cheering him on like he was their own family member. TikTok in particular became a mini fan club headquarters, with viewers replaying his jive and praising his improvement. One fan wrote, "His footwork is impeccable. I'm rarely impressed by male celebs, but Robert deserves to win." And that wasn't the only one. Another commented on how the routine had no gimmicks, all jive, proving his skill wasn't carried by props or distractions, it was technique. It's not easy for a celebrity to win over ballroom fans, but Robert somehow managed to charm both casual viewers and hardcore dance critics. Part of the reason for this massive support is the Irwin legacy. People still remember Bindi Irwin's iconic journey on the show back in 2015, when she won America's Heart and the Mirrorball Trophy. Seeing her younger brother now, following in her footsteps, feels almost nostalgic, like a full-circle moment that fans didn't know they needed. But what's even more interesting is that Robert isn't winning votes just because he's an Irwin. He's winning because he's good, really good. And people are recognizing that. His charm, his effort, and the way he throws himself into every dance make him a standout in a season packed with talent. It's almost like the universe handed him a stage, and he decided to run with it. And let's talk about Whitney Carson for a moment, because the chemistry between her and Robert has been a huge part of this journey. Whitney is known for pushing her partners, but with Robert, she's found this perfect balance of challenge and encouragement. She choreographed a jive that demanded precision, stamina, and personality, and Robert delivered all three. The trust between them is obvious, especially with the flips and tricks they pull off. Those moves require total confidence in your partner, and their partnership has grown into something incredibly strong. Watching them dance feels less like teacher and student and more like a true duo who share the same goal, winning the finale with a routine people will remember for years. Now, as we head into the grand final, the excitement surrounding Robert is at an all-time high. Fans are already predicting that he might take home the trophy. And honestly, based on that semi-final jive, he has every chance. He's got the personality, the talent, the improvement arc, and the public support. Basically, the perfect DWTS recipe. And there's also this beautiful sense of anticipation, like people know they're witnessing the birth of a new chapter in Robert's life. He's already conquered wildlife conservation, hosting, and public speaking. And now, suddenly, dance is part of his story too. Whether he wins or not, he's already solidified his place as one of the standout stars of the season. Question now is, can Robert Irwin carry this momentum into the finale and fulfill what so many fans are hoping for? A second Irwin victory on Dancing with the Stars. After that perfect jive, after the judges' praise, after the overwhelming online support, it honestly feels possible. And watching him discover this side of himself has been one of the most refreshing storylines the show has had in years. Whatever happens next, one thing is absolutely clear. Robert has proven he's not just a wildlife warrior. He's a performer, a competitor, and maybe a future champion. So buckle up, because if the semifinals were this explosive, the grand final might just be the moment that seals his place in DWTS history.